Hello everybody, it's Dr. Novak. How's it going? And in this video, I'm going to show two tanks. One of them is Sue's and the other one is Colin's. And that will be at the end of the video. I'll leave a timestamp in case you don't want to watch the first part of the video. You can directly go to the timestamp and see the two aquariums I will show. This is one of them, by the way, that you're looking at. So what I'm going to get into in the next few videos that I will be showing is I'm going to set up a small little aquarium and we're going to go step by step. And I'm going to show you some easy shortcuts that I have found, like how to clean your substrate, what I use, especially if I have a lot of substrate to clean. If you have a little bit, you can use a net to clean it. But what if you have a lot of substrate, maybe 70, 80, 90 pounds? Well, you're going to have to find a fast way of cleaning it. Now, it doesn't matter what substrate you're going to use, like fluval red, black, doesn't matter what you're going to use as a substrate. You may want to clean it, and I'll show you a fast way that I have found to clean substrate. The only thing of it is I'm going to show you, it doesn't apply, unfortunately, to sand. Sand is one of those so fine substrates that not much you can really do except kind of go through the painful steps of having a bucket and stirring it around constantly and taking a long time to clean sand. But I'll show you how to clean everything else. Now, the good thing of it is that I'm going to, with this new aquarium, make a plenum. And we are also going to set up a plenum. And now a plenum does not necessarily need laterite. Laterite is there as an iron additive. But you can go out and get something like Flourish iron and add it to your aquarium. Okay. When you do a water change, you can add a little more to the aquarium, and that will aid in the reproduction of the bacteria. Because once the bacteria is well established, then iron doesn't play as big a part anymore in the growth of bacteria. So you can do that. Now, plenums are a little bit different than BCB baskets, so let's don't get confused. I'm just going to set up an aquarium showing you how to make a plenum the easy way. And we're going to try to save people money. And what kind of substrate you want to use when you make a plenum is strictly up to you. That's the good part of making a plenum. If you want to use gravel, if you want to use oil dry, safety zorb, zeolite, kitty litter, baked kitty litter, if you want to use that, it's all fine and good. It's all done with the same process as I'm going to show you in this video on how to clean your substrate. Like I said, the only exception to this rule will be sand, because sand is just so fine of a product. But if you can get yourself baked kitty litter or whatever you want to use, some people may want to mix them. They may want to use baked kitty litter on the bottom and add a substrate that's more appealing to them on top. Fine. It doesn't matter. And it won't make a big deal with the plenum. So I'm going to show you what I do, the little shortcut, what I bought, how I've been doing it for years. And it works. It makes the process of cleaning your substrate, whatever you have, very, very easy, and allows for very, very fine particles that can wind up clogging up something, or you really don't want to be washed away, and you'll only be left with the larger particles of at least, a millimeter or bigger. And we're going to get into that into this video. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is buy one of these baskets. These are plant baskets used for pond. You can buy them at the hardware store. You can buy these at garden centers. They're all over the place. They're usually made for pond lilies. The mesh is just the right size, so when you go to clean your substrate, it allows the very, very fine particles to get through it, and the bigger particles will be left behind, just like you see in the bucket here. That's all been cleaned. And believe it or not, it just takes a matter of minutes with a basket like this. Now, this is something you can't buy at a grocery store because the mesh is just that right size for planting up water lilies. So, the first thing we want to do with one of these baskets is you want to load it up with your substrate. Remember, this applies to saltwater aquariums also. The only difference is you're going to use a different kind of substrate that you're going to put on the bottom of your aquarium. Versus freshwater, I'm using kitty litter. But like I said, you can use oil dry, zeolite, safety zorb, any one of those products. Those products can usually be bought at a Tractor Supply house here in the United States. But for those of you who are overseas, you can buy whatever you want. However, if you're overseas and the substrates that you have don't apply to kitty litter or anything, you could also use normal small gravel. Nothing wrong with that. Not when you're making a plenum. So all I do, real simple, I start filling up the basket some. I'm not going to fill the basket up all the way. And you can see how dusty it is. Look how dusty that is. So all that fine particulate matter is great if you're going to use it in a kitty box, but it's not good if we're going to put it in our aquarium. And that even goes for gravel or whatever you're going to use. Even if you're going to use red, fluval red or fluval black, it still needs to be cleaned. Because look, if you look at fluval red or black or any of those substrates, it says it's made out of baked clay. You don't need laterite, but then of course you could add iron through like liquid iron, and you can turn around and you have to clean it. No matter what, it's still going to be dusty. It's a baked clay. Basically, that's what you're using here. So all the manufacturers have done is gotten smart, made baked clay, and then they make the claim, well, you don't really need laterite. It's got it in it. I just use this Whisker and Tails. I buy it here in Florida. It's made in the United States, but I, for the life of me, cannot find where it's made. I've tried. Maybe somebody else can find out where it's made, because this is baked kitty litter, so it holds up. You can grab it. You can't crush it like the clay that's not baked. And as you can see, the dirty powder that's left behind, but that all needs to be cleaned. Now, of course, what I'm doing is I use a high pressure hose, garden hose, and a high pressure nozzle. I found out this works the fastest of cleaning it. And look at how it looks like now, like turning into mud, and that's a lot of dust and dirt you don't want to get into your aquarium. Like any other gravel, it needs to be cleaned, but these baskets really work wonders. And it doesn't take that long to clean a few pounds and put it in a bucket, clean a few more pounds, put it in a bucket. It's a lot faster than trying to clean sand. I can tell you that right now. Sand, it seems like you could spend 45 minutes trying to clean a bucket of sand, and it just never seems to get clean. I've heard people spending hours trying to clean sand. But by doing this with a high pressure hose, downside is if you live up north, and this isn't going to be very easy to do during the wintertime. But if you live down south, like in Florida, no problem. Of course, for you, those people who are up north in the United States, where in the wintertime it's cold, you'll have to probably do it in a utility sink. But I like doing it outside because, as you can see, it's messy. It gets rid of a lot of the minute particles of clay that you don't need anyhow. And this cleans it out where it's not going to turn your tank all murky. If it did turn it murky, it would clean up very quickly because there's not very much of the dust particles left in the clay. Once it's all cleaned out, just let it drip out, rinse out. And once the water's out, dump it in the 5-gallon bucket or whatever you're using. That's pretty much it. You can't get really any easier to clean your substrate out than this. It goes pretty quick. I have to admit, it does. So you can rifle through 20 pounds of this in just a matter of minutes. Okay, everybody, this is Sue's aquarium, and she has 2 aquariums we're going to look at. One is a 35-gallon aquarium. You don't see really too many 35-gallon aquariums anymore. It almost seems like, where are the 35-gallon aquariums? Bigger than a 29, but smaller than a 55. You know, I don't understand. Where are they? And then a Penplex Vertex tank, 10-gallon. All right. Now, the new project I'm showing you is a 5.75-gallon aquarium that I got at Petco. So that will be in my next few videos. Anyhow, the 35-gallon tank is what you're looking at. The tank is running with a setup since March of 2022. Lee's under gravel filter, which fits full bottom with 1 shortened lift tube. Tetra Whisper air pump with an air stone. Air turned down to slow. Eheim Classic 350 canister filter filled with sponges, BCB bags, and BioHome filter media. Substrate, C-Chem fluorite regular with sandwiches of kitty litter and laterite powder. Gravel layer on top. I don't know what it is. I've had it and used it for 20 years. Looks like a finely crushed baked clay. Total depth, 4 inches. Fertilizer, CO2, 1 complete system, inline, and let's see, Thrive S liquid fertilizer and root caps. She has NA, so I guess that's non-actable that she's using fertilizers and root tabs. So I guess she doesn't add those. Lighting is a Current USA 36-inch LED. Current also makes pumps. I'm pretty sure I have a Current pump. Okay, let's get on to the second tank. Okay, this is the second tank. This is a 10-gallon. Once again, looks excellent, doesn't? I have to admit, it looks professionally done. It uses a Lee under gravel filter. You see, that's what I'm going to show you in my newest videos, how I'm using an under gravel filter. Under gravel filters are plenums. That's all they are. If you didn't have a bubbler connected to it, it would be a Schober plenum. If you add a bubbler to it, it's still a plenum. The under gravel filter is basically, it's not even a filter actually. It's a misnomer. It's actually a biological filter. But the thing about it is you don't need to buy sponges. Okay, they're not needed. And that's what I don't understand. We got away from the plenum and using under gravel filter plates to what? Buy sponges and put big black sponges in our aquarium and make them look hideous. Look at this tank, just a little 10-gallon. This thing's, it's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, what can I say? You know, and it doesn't have some big black bulky dirt magnet sponge sitting in it, detracting from its beauty. I mean, let's face facts. Okay, Lee's under gravel filter fits 3/5 of the aquarium bottom. Yeah, they're made exactly for 10-gallon tanks. A shortened lift tube and small Tetra air pump, minimum flow. AquaClear 20 power filter, hang on the back, filled with sponge and BioHome filter media. Substrate, gravel, same type as above, or the other aquarium, the 35-gallon. Kitty litter and laterite, fluval stratum with a cap of more gravel. And Hager clip-on LED 14-watt light. I want to thank Sue for sending me this. This is excellent. Look at this. These tanks are absolutely beautiful. I know what people say on the internet, But when you look at this tank, you look at a 35, you're looking at this 10-gallon. Come on, people. Somebody's trying to pull the wool over somebody's eye about plenums and plants and how great they could be. They could be beautiful aquariums and look great and grow your plants great, allow you to have a biological filter that's out of this world, okay? Just like what we have in our sewage treatment plants or wastewater management systems. Same stuff. That's what we're using. I want to thank Sue for sending me these pictures. This really gives a good insight to people for big aquariums and for small aquariums. It works. These are beautiful aquariums. And every aquarium I've been showing you is great looking. I have to admit it. Now let's get to the next aquarium. We're going to get to Colin's aquariums. Okay, this is Colin's aquarium. It's been up since February of 2021. It is a 100-liter cube aquarium. And that's beautiful. I mean, I'm looking at these pictures that people are sending me. And look at these beautiful aquariums. Not one of them is using, really all of them are using nothing that, what can I say, father fish uses. And look how beautiful these tanks are. These are just absolutely stunning. Okay, equipment used. Under gravel filter used as a slow-moving plenum. Gee, once again, look at the beauty of the plants. I don't know, these people who disc everything and say they'll close down their channel. They don't want to talk about, plenums and anoxic filter. They'd rather close their channel down than talk about it. I just don't get it. It just baffles me. Look at these beautiful tanks we're looking at. Absolutely, they look like they belong in a picture book. And yet, look at the success people are having. I don't get it. Someone needs to explain it to me. Maybe, someone needs to slap me around on this because I'm not understanding why people diss this so much. Filter plates bought on eBay, under gravel filters, are rare as hen's teeth in the aquarium stores over here where he's at. Let's see. Deep bed, including molar clay and hard baked clay litter and topped of fluorite black. Yeah, so the videos I'm doing are explaining to you how you can clean everything that he's done a very quick way. 300, it looks like 300 liters an hour, minimum circulation pump, and standard sponge for filtering out solids. Aquarium manufacturers standard equipment, filter box on right a picture. I enrich with CO2 using a baking soda and citric acid generator and a helter-skelter type diffuser. It doesn't need high pressure to work like a ceramic disc, but is less efficient. Well, that's good. I've heard of people doing that, using that instead of buying CO2 at a welding supply house. Standard 100-watt glass tube heater, 1 Tunzi LED full spectrum on for 6 hours a day. You see what I tell people? 6 hours a day. A lot of people overdo it with their lighting. The minimum should be 6 hours. Start off with 6 hours, see how things are, and you may control your algae just a little bit better by not adding as much light or duration of light, I should say, to your aquarium. Your plants are going to do fine. 2 Tunzi LED white on for 5 hours. Let's see, I feed raspberry food also once a week, some corrugated zucchini or cucumber, no fertilization. I hope this is of interest. Yes, Colin, it is of great interest that this tank has been going on since 2021 of February. It's 2 years old. It's a 2-year-old tank, and look how beautiful it is. 100-liter tank. I want to thank Sue and Collins for sending me pictures. I really think this gives people hope when they look at something like that, and I hope everybody, when they look at something like that, realizes, you know, these YouTube channels out there, they're just lying and buffaloing people. I hate to say it. And you got to call it the way it is. They're lying and buffaloing you on how things are. They give you a different alternative. And if you want to use it, fine. Because people have asked me, oh, should I use your system or Father Fish's system? I tell them, I'll go use Father Fish's system and see if it works. If you're on the fence about what I'm saying and you feel that somebody else is saying something better than me, well, go use their system. It's no skin off my nose, as they say. You know, it's not going to hurt me one bit. It's not going to make me feel bad if you decide to use somebody else's system. It's up to you. You know, you're the one who gets to make the choices and do the setups and everything else and with your money. So anyhow, that's it for this video. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please subscribe. I got more coming up of the aquarium I'm doing. I showed you how I clean the substrate. Those baskets work great for large quantities of substrate that you need to clean, even the kitty litter, as you could see, or oil dry or whatever you're going to use. It works great. Remember, making a plenum does not require that you use all kinds of different substrates, but the kitty litter does help, and then you can use whatever you want. But you can forego the kitty litter if you live in a country that doesn't have it, and use a substrate that maybe is available in your country. A plenum is flexible. It is the idea of how it works, which establishes the anoxic conditions to complete the nitrogen cycle. And in the next few videos, I'm going to get into not only for this small tank to show you how I set it up, how I can make sure I regulate the bubbles. I'm going to have a nothing fancy kind of aquarium. In fact, I'm going to do the aquarium the way it would have been done in the 1960s. Okay, that's the way I'm going to do the aquarium. It's not a very big aquarium. Like I said, it's a little under 6 gallons of water, but it's going to be an aquarium that anyone can do. It's cheap. It's going to be inexpensive. We're going to try to save money, except for the lighting. I already have the lighting, and I'll probably use the Kessel lighting on it. Okay, no, that's not cheap and expensive. You can use alternative, but I'm going to get into that into my next video. So if you want to keep up to date on these new videos I'm going to be coming out with, showing you step by step, the first step is how to clean your substrate. Next step is how to prepare your plate, which is a bought plate. And I'm going to go through step by step to help you set one up, whether it's a 5,000 gallon, 500 gallon, or even a 5 gallon aquarium. I'm going to take you step by step so you don't make mistakes, so you don't buy things you don't really need and waste your time and money. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm even going to try to show you, not try, of how to establish your tank immediately so you can put fish in immediately. That's all going to be coming up in the next few videos. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe so you can keep on top of my new videos. So if you want to build a tank and start buying your supplies, you'll know what to buy so you don't waste your money. Okay? So until next time, this is Dr. Novak. Thank you for watching and happy fish keeping.